Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Airstreamers, where you never know what stream will ride. We are here on episode 109. Holy moly, 109. And it's our first episode.
Some would say Holy McMoly.
Holy McMoly. And it's our very first episode where we are live streaming to, I don't like how my hat looks right now. We're live streaming to...
Tell us how you really feel.
YouTube and Facebook. And two Facebooks, because it's the Airstreamers Facebook and it's the Muskrat Nation Facebook. Thank you, Beach, please, for subscribing.
The devil's armpit.
Yeah, seriously. That was from New Jersey. The torch got passed from New Jersey to Facebook.
Oh, is that a thing? Jersey is known as the devil's armpit?
Well, I think because it smells real bad.
Oh, well, I beg to differ. When we were driving home from New York, that one spot on the Henry Hudson Parkway.
You know what I asked Chris? I said, is that...
Stinkland. That was like dirty butthole and bone spurs.
I said, is that you or the city? And what was your response?
It said, I am not taking ownership of that.
It was the city. So we are here also uniquely on this Sunday evening. So who knows? You know, I think this was a good experiment to do the Facebook, YouTube thing tonight because if full dumpster fire happens, you know.
Yeah, we're like all over the internet tonight.
Sort of expected for that. So it's interesting. We have... I'm
just curious, like, because we have a multi-stream chat. Honestly, I think what we're going to do is it's too much to manage. So one of the benefits of coming onto Twitch is that we'll engage with your chat if you're on any of the other platforms chatting along with us.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll be able to keep up with that.
Jeffrey said, is New Jersey known as the Garden State? Yes. It is, in fact, known that.
Oh, well, that's not the biggest lie.
Kathy said it's my 7th anniversary on Airstreamers. Congrats. That is so much fun.
Kathy, thanks for being here.
Chrissy said it was the smell of all the runners for the New York City Marathon. So, yeah, who knows what tonight will be like in terms of, like, viewership or anything, because it's a Sunday night and it's weird. It's, like, an unusual time for us after 109 episodes. We switch things up. And truth be told, I'm pretty sure that both me and Chris are still recovering from last night.
Oh, I'm still recovering from last night. We were party animals.
Yeah, it was a blast. But just to kind of
Hey, Leslie,
paint the picture really quick of what went down, it ended where we're like scarfing down New York City Taco Bell in our hotel room in our underwear at like 1:30 in the morning. You know, that was what went down. That's how it ended.
We're children.
Literally, we're children.
Well, look, let's start with how the day.
Yeah. So what I want to do tonight is sort of recap moments from last night. We're still recovering from the text photos. You're also kind. This morning, Chris said, he goes, you know, if you ever feel down about yourself, just look at our...
if you need an ego boost.
If you need an ego boost, that's what it is. You know, look at that. So,
thanks, Imposter Steve.
We're already one thing away from a hype train, which is unusual for a Sunday. I think this is great. So... no, Bella wasn't room service. No, there's a lot to discuss. So what I wanted to do was kind of tell stories about last night. And new star color. I wonder why that is.
For what?
Imposter Steve said new star color. I think it's actually not a new star color. I think it's... Oh, I understand. I understand what he means. Sorry.
Oh, I think Raisin missed us, and that's why he's up on the stream, because we were gone yesterday.
So what I want to do is tell stories about last night, and however we want to do it. Maybe you can take a shot, I can take a shot, because otherwise we're just going to, like, vomit, diarrhea, like, what is that? What am I saying?
Word vomit?
Word vomit everywhere.
Yeah.
Diarrhea, what am I saying?
I don't know. Diarrhea of the mouth.
That's what. Yes, thank you. Oh my God, I knew I was onto something. Vomit, word vomit,
thanks,
or
Kathy.
Diarrhea of the mouth, which is what we do anyway. But
and Jen,
you know.
Thank you, Jen.
So yes, we are on Hype Train. Wow, Lexi Lynn, thank you. Chris's professional headshot with the iPhone looked amazing with the quality. And OG Steve, I will talk about that. Verbal diarrhea. I can't. You're all so funny.
Oh, thanks,
this
Lexi.
Is so funny.
And Lexi, thanks for joining tonight. I know that your work schedule has changed, so one of the benefits of being on Sunday evening is that Lexi can jump on.
Yeah, thank you, Cooking Cherry. That's sweet. Thank you, Patsy. Chris, can you just click the multi-stream? I'm curious to see if anything is happening. Like, I'm curious if anyone, you know. Okay, we'll take a look at that throughout the night. But yes, some of the benefits, because I know there might be some questions about the fact that we're streaming on multiple platforms now. But one of the benefits of Twitch, the way we're going to sort of talk about it, is that the only interactions and activity that we'll be engaging with are through Twitch, as well as all of the giveaways will come through Twitch. And of course, all the emotes and things and the subscriptions and things, they only are through Twitch anyway. So right now, I guess we're experimenting with the idea of giving people in Facebook and YouTube world an opportunity to just see us, you know, like see what's going on, because maybe there's that element of people just being
not
unaware.
Sure what it is. But also, I mean, for anybody who is on the other platforms,
dead to us. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love you. Thank you for being here. I'm totally just kidding.
Twitch is free. You can just click the link and sign up. It's a free account.
Yeah, it's exactly what Facebook.
But you just get to participate in the chat like all the wonderful folks from the community,
right?
Who get to chat with us.
There's lots of fun perks of being a part of Twitch. So in relation to this, tonight we're not going to be playing a game, so you will not see a game being played. It will just be us and our noggins. Which I think, to be honest, I look like I'm recovering. Like I look like
I'm like I can't form a thought. I feel.
So anyway,
dumpster fires.
Thank you, Lexi Lynn.
Oh my God, we have 499.
I know, Belle. I saw that, and I was going to talk about one more making us 500. How exciting would that be? What's the other platform you're streaming with? We are streaming on YouTube Gaming or whatever it's called, or YouTube Studio, like the live YouTube. And we're also streaming with Facebook Gaming or Live, whatever that's called. And they're both Air Streamers and Muskrat Nation. Actually, I'm lying. The YouTube one is just Air Streamers. The Facebook one should be Air Streamers and Muskrat Nation. There's going to be a lot to discuss with me and Chris after this to see what has happened. You know, like, did it work or not?
Thanks, Lexi Lynn. So Jen, JJG. You don't have to worry. The people who are on Facebook and YouTube can enter the raffle. It's just for the lovely Twitch folks.
Yes, exactly. And that's another perk of being a part of Twitch. So if you're watching and it's coming from YouTube or Facebook,
head on over to
welcome, Twitch. But really head on over to Twitch. That's why we're doing this, you know. I don't see Muskrat Nation as live, said Abishi. Okay, I will take a look and see what is going on. But yes, OG Steve, apparently YouTube should be live, I guess. Yeah, it says that it's live. Oh, 3 people are watching.
So,
excuse me.
Can I start my story?
Yes, go ahead, because I will check the Facebook situation.
So, on the check-in for the hotel was at 3:00 on Saturday, and then the event started at 6:00. So we were thinking, let's just go to the hotel at check-in, and have some time to go around the city, do whatever, get ready, and then go to the event. And our hotel was about a couple blocks from where the event was. So it was like a 10-minute walk or so. Just
one thing before we go, Chris, it says we're still playing Mario Kart. I think in that launch thing, there's an option for Facebook gaming that's different for that. So next time we'll put just chatting or something, you know what I mean? But I don't want to forget to tell you that.
And so what we thought we were going to do is get up early and do all of our stuff, feed the cats, get the house ready for leaving, and none of that happened. We ended up getting up Saturday at what time? Like 12?
Literally 12.
12, and then we realized we don't have this, we don't have that. We had to go buy a bunch of stuff for the event, that we could take with us to the hotel. Like we need like stupid stuff like chapstick and toothbrushes. Are you engaged or are you like typing? Because you're very distracted right now.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out.
It's distracting me.
I'm sorry, Chris. What I'm trying to figure out is why it's not on Facebook for Muskrat Nation, but I think I know why, because the page is linking to that deleted Muskrat Nation, but it's fine. We're good. I know what to do.
Okay.
Go. I'm sorry.
No, so then we left, but then it was like an hour and 10 minutes to get into the city for whatever reason. Maybe because people were driving in for the marathon. I don't know.
It was bad. It was a really bad experience because we legitimately went from I'm laughing at the fact that I wasn't even paying attention just a moment ago. And I know what that feels like talking.
9.
No, I feel like what that's like talking to you in this kind of setting, and like when you're distracted by something and all of a sudden your gumption sort of just
I'm like
dies. You're like, am I alone? What's happening? It's so weird. I apologize fully, truly. But my emotions yesterday waking up went from we are absolutely going to be late to, oh my God, we have time, to, oh my God, we're going to be late. It just kept going back and forth, you know? So, the hour and 10 minutes in really was like life ruining.
Somebody just followed and made it our 500th.
Yes, we are at 500.
I think I saw.
Amy Adirondacks.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you for
Amy.
being
Welcome
here, Amy.
to the community.
Welcome. There's lots and lots going on here, and we have a fun story to share about our night last night.
So JJG, it normally takes probably, I would say, like 45 minutes to get into the city, right? Like that's probably about average.
35 to 45. I mean, it could be real quick, or not. But this was a disaster.
And so then we get in, we check in at the hotel, and I booked the hotel like a month ago when we bought the tickets, right?
Yeah.
And I had the reservation, and it was like nothing special. It's just like the closest and cheapest hotel to the venue.
Yeah.
And then when we got there, it's like a really nice hotel, and the room was ridiculous. Elias was like, "What's our room like?" I'm like, "Oh, it's probably like a New York hotel room. It's going to be like a closet, a bed, like
literally
the bed
a closet.
In the closet.
Yeah, exactly.
And then a bathroom.
Yeah.
And then we open the door, and it has like to the left a little like pantry thing with like a sink and a refrigerator and coffee maker, a closet to the right, and then it opens up to this huge living room with a desk,
like a business desk. 2 seats and a couch,
and then windows, and then a separate master bedroom that has its own walk-in closet and a master bath off of the bedroom.
Absolutely.
Which I don't think we can say master bath and master bedroom.
Primary.
It's primary.
Yeah, the primary bedroom. And Chris was downstairs parking the car while I was getting all my stuff situated. And I said to Chris, I texted him and I'm like, OMG, our room is massive. And I'm pretty sure that you were talking about, like, I think you thought I was like kidding. And then you walk in and it was literally, we had a living room.
No,
I mean, we could close the door between these two rooms.
I've been to like business hotels that like I would stay at for work. And, you know, normally like if they're in like, I don't know.
Hi, Kara.
Louisville or like some smaller city, and it's like a business hotel that's like an apartment kind of. It wasn't even as big as what this hotel was. And this is literally in the heart of New York City. And I'm like, I don't know how we managed this, but it's like...
Bella said it's because the hotel manager is definitely a Muskrat lover. That's really funny. So OG Steve, just so we know, he said that he's watching on YouTube, but the quality is currently like 360p. So that's something to just think about or look at maybe in the settings or something, you know?
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Yeah,
Steve's always checking on us.
Because, yeah, there's like a lot going on, and I'm curious about how this is all going to resolve itself. So...
So that was getting to the hotel. We parked the car. That was all like nice and convenient. And then we decided that we were going to go shopping at the Nintendo store because we haven't been in the city for this type of stuff.
I mean,
for 2 years.
Literally 2 years. Yeah. It's been crazy how long it's been for us to be there in like in that type of setting.
Yeah,
you know?
And part of the reason why we were going to go into the event no matter what because we really wanted to go to the women's event this year.
Yeah,
And this was the first big event that the center organized for or post-COVID. That was like a gala type event. They hadn't done are you like organizing stuff again?
Totally. No, I'm sorry. I'm desperate to try to figure this out.
It's all good.
Okay, go.
It's good.
It
We'll fix it afterwards.
No, but it needs to be live in the moment. That's what I'm saying. I can't fix it afterwards.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But got it. Go. I'm sorry. Last time.
We were the last time 2 years ago in the city, like what might have been
No, it's the mask.
The mask event for the center in February of 2020.
MASQ, and it's a really cool event where everyone wears a mask. It's really mysterious, really, really cool. And I ended up getting really sick that day, and it was a couple of weeks before COVID. And I sometimes think to myself that like I had COVID then, but
you got the antibody test and you did.
Yeah, but my doctor said back when I got the antibody test that it's very difficult to really recognize at that time whether it's real or not, like whether it's a false positive or a false negative or whatever.
Yeah.
He had said that it's very difficult to determine with certainty that that test is correct. That's why I think that even though we think I didn't get COVID, somewhere deep down, I think I had COVID. I think I really had COVID.
Well, then you were trying to get better and then we ultimately went to Disney. After mask,
and I went to Disney sick, a little bit sick.
A couple of weeks.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks after mask, we went to Disney, and then we came back again. But that was legit the last time that we were in the city for like a gala type event where we were like stayed in the city overnight at a hotel, had dinner in the city.
Did you hear yourself just now? That was the last time that we were in the city for a gala event. Like that means we go regularly to the city for galas.
That's like the only reason why we go to the city. It's like North Shore Gala,
Broadway,
the center,
Nintendo store, the center, and
that's it. And riding our bikes.
Yeah, which I prefer to do. But getting back, we need to get back to the story.
So then,
we made it to level 5, and we're at 70 viewers. Holy moly!
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm like so excited for tonight's patch to show you guys. I think
I love
really
your patch.
like it.
I think it's great.
And so we decide that we're going to go shopping at the Nintendo store while we were there.
I think actually, Chris, look, it's a 70 combined viewer. I think. You know what I mean?
It could just be delayed.
I have like different numbers everywhere.
So we go to, do you want to thank some of the folks and like are we going to do the shot to celebrate?
Yeah.
And then we can come back and talk about our story to the Nintendo store.
Yes, we'll do that.
Look
there's a get a cheddar one.
Where is Cheddar?
He's in the little hole here. Take him out of the hole and put him up at the top there.
Okay.
Thanks, Karen. Hello.
I left off a long time ago.
Yeah, Charlie Boy.
So
thank
many
you,
people
Deb.
were supporting us.
Kara, Deb, Kathy, Charlie Boy. Excuse me, Lexi Lynn. Lexi Lynn again, Charlie Boy. Thank you. Sam said I see 62 for here on Twitch, 64 now. Yeah, it's like for me, I'm looking on 3 different devices and it's a different number on all the devices. So I just can't make any heads or tails of it all. Oh my God, look at this Cheddar. Look at him. Look at him. Oh my God, Cheddar, I love you so much. Aww. By the way, Chris, do you hear my voice? It's all gravelly from screaming yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Like when we were in the event. So when we walked where our hotel was, it was equidistant between the event and the Nintendo store. So we were able to very easily do both. We got there around, I want to say 3:30, and by the time we got back to the hotel room after the Nintendo store, it was maybe like 5, and we had to leave by 6 to get to the event. the Nintendo store had a line to get in, not because it was busy, but because of COVID restrictions. And that was super surprising to me because I was happy. Like, I'm happy that it still was present with their attention to safety and all of that. So we waited on what looked like a really long line, but it went in within 5 minutes. We were in. It was basically like anytime a person left, they just let more people in. So they only had a certain amount of folks in there at one time, which was awesome. And that store is amazing. So I don't know if any of you have ever seen pictures of the Nintendo store in the city. It's the only store like it, like in America, and there's only one other Nintendo store, which is in Japan. And it's an experience in and of itself to go and visit the Nintendo store. Sam, I'm so sorry to hear that. I just saw that message. One of my CNAs at my job just died from COVID yesterday. I'm so sorry to hear that. So the experience of going to the Nintendo store alone is it. You don't have to buy anything. It's fantastic. The decor, there's a giant Bowser. There's a giant, now that they have Pokemon games coming out in a couple of weeks, for the Switch, there was a whole Pokemon themed section. It's such a beautiful store.
And the employees are really nice there.
Oh, they're super nice. And Bisha, you
like
have
they
to
all
go.
They all like Nintendo. Like,
yeah, they're all there
it's not
for
that
that
they're there
same
for a
reason.
job.
Yeah, they're all super awesome. So can you tell them what you unexpectedly found and bought last night? It was like the last one.
It was so random. We did not go in there like expecting to shop, but they had a Switch, like the new Switch OLED, and it was just like a spur of the moment decision, and we ended up getting me one so that I don't have to complain about my screen anymore.
Yeah. So now you have an OLED
Well,
Switch.
now I'm not. Yeah, now I'm actually the one who has the better Switch because I
a
got it
newer
from
one?
a legit
Nintendo
store.
Yeah.
You got
And
yours
who,
from Best Buy.
who helped you get all of your stuff over, including your Animal Crossing
You
village?
did. Of course you did. Of course you did.
Speaking of Animal Crossing, real quick side note, the new updates and content, there's a lot, and I'm living for this. This is such an awesome thing.
What happened to Sam and Watson?
Sam and Watson CNA that they work with at the hospital died yesterday from COVID. Yeah, it sucks. We had a patient that we shipped out die a couple weeks ago. She had just delivered her 7th kid. Maybe it was like a week old when she was intubated. That's terrible. I'm so sorry to hear that.
What's a CNA?
I don't know. Nurse's assistant?
Chief nurse
Assistant?
That's terrible.
I don't know, but I'm sure Sam will tell us. Heidi said
I'm
that we
sorry,
should do on Instagram Live. You have a lot of followers there. Yeah, the problem is with Instagram, it's not incorporated in the way Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch are, meaning this video right now that we're looking at could never be on Instagram. So they'll never see this, we could do them looking at us this way, but I don't know that it would ever resonate to be.
No, because like all the views and everything. Oh, look at Eloise. She's she's
Eloise. I'm so sad. The only thing that is saving grace for me is that at least she got to see and hold her baby. So many women delivered and died and never got to hold their newborn. Oh my God. OGC said, how are you liking the Nintendo Switch expansion pack so far? Oh, I've only been playing Ocarina of Time, using that Nintendo 64 controller, and I'm living. I'm here for it.
But you've played the Animal Crossing update. That's in the
right. Yeah. No, it's not.
Certified nursing assistant.
Yeah, it is actually. The Nintendo Switch expansion pack is inclusive of the DLC for Animal Crossing.
Which that's a deal. If you're going to do it, then it's like...
Yeah.
No, Sam, I mean, you're not bringing the mood down. I appreciate that you share it with us. And if anything, this community is here to bring you up.
Yeah,
so
to be here.
You're not bringing
us.
anybody down. Thank you for sharing. I just wish we could do more to help you.
Yeah. But on a brighter note, I love my new Switch set, Sam. Yeah. Literally brighter note, because it's brighter. Get it? The Switch.
Like dad joke.
Yeah, terrible dad joke. Getting back to our
so
story.
did you tell the line
Yeah,
getting
we
into...
got past the line. We talked about the
Did you talk
Bowser.
about your purchase of the Flareon thing?
No, not Flareon, excuse me. Sylveon. Flareon is a cheddar one. We were looking for a doll to give to Eloise because, of course, that's what two gay cat dads do in the Nintendo store.
Oh, look at her.
And
she's so cute.
we found all of the Pokemon section had a bunch of Eevees. I don't know if you know the character of Eevee in Pokemon Land, but it's a brown little fox that evolves into one of, I think, 7 different evolutions of Eevee. And the one that I years ago connected Eloise with in regards to which Pokemon Eloise would be when we did that during Muskrat Appreciation Week. We found one. It's Sylveon, and she's super, super cute. So we ended up buying that, and I bought a shirt that is hand-drawn Link, the Toon Link, in a real-world setting of New York City, in Central Park, feeding pigeons. And I've never seen anything better. It's absolutely the best thing I have ever seen. Heidi said you can't ever go back to normal yearly without losing all of the extra content. No, yes, the DLC content you will lose. Like the Happy Home Paradise, that you won't have access to. But if it's outside Happy Home Paradise, you will have it. So Happy Home Paradise gives you these different editing tools for your house if you continue to do the missions. And those you will forever keep, even if you remove the yearly membership. You know what I mean? So if you literally travel to that Happy Home Island thing, that's never going to be available to you if you quit. But anything you bring back to the world, you'll have.
I mean, it's a steal for us because we both get the content.
Yeah.
Like in the family pack.
Yeah, the family pack gives it up to 7 people. So debating between just getting digital Mario Kart or saving $20 and getting the actual cartridge used from GameStop. It's up to you. I mean, honestly, whatever you... One of the things we like to do is we buy physical because, not always, but when we do buy a game that we know we'll probably play and then at some point stop playing, we'll buy physical. So we end up getting money for it back. We'll sell it back. So Kale Walker, welcome. You guys live in Airstreams. We do not currently live in an Airstream. This is our home, but we do love to stream, or I'm sorry, to go camping in our Airstream. We are waiting for our new one to come in a couple of months.
In March.
But until then, we don't have our Airstream. And when we do get it, you will be, it's good to know that we stream from inside of our Airstream.
Yep.
Once every so often.
And if Kale Walker, if you are an Airstreamer fan, we used to have a 2019 Bambi 16-foot, and we just upgraded and put our order in for the 2022 27-foot Globetrotter.
What's the word that the front bed? FRB?
Front queen.
FQB? Front
FB.
Queen bed?
Yeah, something like that.
Front bed queen? I don't know.
Oh, they had one growing up. Oh my God, we love it. We're total Airstream fans.
The very first stream we ever did was within our Airstream, and that's why we decided to call ourselves Airstreamers. But there's some videos. We just did our 100th episode, so if you go to our Airstreamers Twitch page and take a look at the section titled like 100th episode videos, you can learn a lot about like the community and what we've done and how we've grown and what you're coming into, because it's fantastic. There's a lot of good stuff going on here.
So we should celebrate our hype train, and then we can I want to show the patch. Because I'm really excited about it. So let's do the hype train. We're going to show the patch that we're going to give away tonight.
Okay.
And that's what we're planning on.
Okay, so we are about to get into our hype train reward
train gear. Where
we need one button to make all this disco party happen. There we go. Do you have lights on? You don't have lights on. You need lights on.
Yeah, give me my lights.
Yeah, here we go, folks. On a Sunday, you all delivered. We are here with a ton of new folks on this here day, and it is so amazing to spend the night with you and get to recap on our
And we have
fun night.
All the muskrats are around us.
Yeah,
they missed us.
lots of them. Not all of them, but I don't think Chris knows how many muskrats we had. So yeah, and then we got to tell you about the event, of course. So okay, here, cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for following Kale Walker. I want to say Cake Walker every time. Cheers, and thank you for all the love and support.
Kale and cake, that's like the same thing. Oh, that's a big one. I mixed it with the stuff. And you still coughed.
No, you did not.
I did.
No.
I mixed it.
I was going to say that that's less better than...
I put the stuff in.
No.
Ugh. Yeah, why is it that? Did that stuff go bad?
Terrible. I don't know. That was the worst shot I've ever taken.
Poison.
Oh my god.
Wow. But thank you for supporting the channel.
Yes.
We're like, disgusting.
The stuff must flow. The spice must flow. What a good movie that was.
How do you...
Chris, stop it. Okay, there we go. Wait, did we do it? Oh, we did it. Okay, let's get back to the story, Chris.
Wait, no, I want to get back to my patch now.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
I need to show this patch. I'm super excited about it.
I think, though, is it more effective to tell the women's event content or like...
No, they know that it's...
So yeah, a brief little recap, just a quick little thing. The event that we went to last night is called the Women's Event, and the LGBTQ Center in New York City, which is the largest space dedicated to the queer community and support of the queer community in like the Northeast, I want to say.
Yeah, they actually,
the East Coast.
Yeah, and I mean, since COVID, I mean, they're physically located in New York. But what's really great, and I mean, maybe a positive that came from COVID, if there is such a thing, but they branched out online and started helping people and offering services virtually to people outside of the New York City or the tri-state area.
Which is fantastic.
Which is awesome.
So this organization, they rely on contributions from the general public and donations and things. And so every year they have like 3 or 4 big events that they do, and they haven't been able to do them because of COVID. And so this particular event is called the Women's Event, and what they do is celebrate 3 or 4 major women in the industry, and I don't even know if it's the industry, but in the entertainment industry, they said there was a specific way they described it, like
well, I think it's
content
not even
creators and entertainers and something else. They like
no, but they also like women in like positions of power in business. They celebrate too.
Right.
People who make us women, either self-identified women or cisgendered women, or
non-binary or gender non-conforming women.
People.
Yeah, people
are part of this celebration, and it's just a chance to recognize the important work they do for the world in the LGBTQ community. Right.
And so it's a huge celebration. It's fancy. There's a lot of big names there. Unfortunately, because of COVID, this was a unique situation where the 3 big people who were like awarded something weren't able to be there. We'll get to that in a little bit. But in prior years, they were all there. Like, this is an event where these people, like these big entertainers, are there. And it was a bummer a little bit that we didn't get to see some of these folks last night, but it was still super cool to like hear them talk digitally. Also realizing that they're talking about how amazing the director of the center is, and we're like BFF with her. And so like
she's awesome.
That there's such a close connection to like us and like Kim Petras, or us and like Leah Delaria from Orange is the New Black, and Roxanne Gay, who's an author, and she writes some amazing stuff.
She has a bunch of bestseller, like New York Times bestsellers.
Leah Delaria, Kara said, I love Leah Delaria. She's fantastic, and there was a raffle? No, what is it?
An auction. Oh my God.
An auction for having Leah come to your house to host a private 12
person concert.
Yeah, and all you need is a piano, and she'll literally walk right in, play a concert for you, chat with you, and then she's out. And at first I'm like, Chris, this is great. Maybe we can have her on the stream. Let's do it.
Oh my God.
And then do you know how much?
Well, they started the bids at 5,000.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, that's
That
a
ship
little
has
bit
sailed.
outside of our comfort zone. And the auctions went up to, I think it finalized at 18,000. Right, that they raised.
18,000. Yeah, at times 2. Yeah, because they realized 2 people were fighting for it.
2 people were gonna.
So instead of having it just be 1, they're kind of just going to convince her to do 2, because then it's $36,000, because otherwise it would have been 18,000 and like not the other person.
Yeah.
So, you know, how many Bambis for her to appear? I was going to say 10,000. Kara met Leah at college, which I think is super cool. Jen.
I mean, look, we support the LGBT Center within the means that we can.
Right.
And North Shore Animal League, those are 2 charities that we really just love to support when we can. We're not at the point where we can drop 18 grand to support
I literally,
them.
before before the first number came out, though, I literally said to Chris, I'm like, do you think that maybe this could work? Like, if we can do this and then we bring Leah over to our house, how much fun would that be? Literally thinking this is an even remote possibility. And then they said 5,000. And I was like, okay, that's a bit rough, but like, maybe we can scrounge something up. And then all of a sudden it's like 18,000. We're like, okay, no, this is not
that's
gonna
not
work.
happening.
You know,
but I would love to have that flexibility.
Yeah, right. JJG said
as would many
10,000 in Bambis. And yeah, we're at 74 viewers, I believe. So says Twitch, which is fantastic.
Well, I think that's a great time to show off the patch that's related to strong and important women in community.
Yes, this patch was born out of that idea that we were going to this, and Chris wanted to have a patch ready for tonight because I think you knew you weren't going to have time.
Yeah.
/ you were going to be dead today.
Yeah, which we still have to get to that story.
Yeah.
So can I have some music for this lovely patch?
There you go.
So this is actually inspired by, I would say, 2 things. One, that we were going to the women's event in the center, or in the city, and I wanted to do something to highlight that. The second is that I wanted to, it sort of came initially out of the thought of all of the hard work that Leah's done in...
Delaria?
No, our Leah. Leah's done in running for the board of education.
Right.
And that
Very
like
inspiring.
she was often talked about as not having kids during the race and all of that, and she was like just a strong person in that and really pushed through.
To add to that, some of the negatives that people spoke about, and you can tell these microaggression moments existed, and it was disgusting to hear. Like Chris said, Leah got a ton of flack for not having a child, which is bonkers.
Oh my God, we were not transitioning.
Oh. Number 2 is that Leah and her party that she ran with were 3 women, and they were younger. And many folks who would talk online and stuff, like the Donald Davids of the world, they would refer to them as the 3 little girls, or like the 3 girls, or the 3 musketeers, or whatever, just to continuously dig at them. That is uncalled for, number 1. It's wrong. And the fact that Leah just pushed it aside, let us know her feelings,
and focused on the race,
right,
and the change that she could introduce to the Board of Education.
Yep.
And that's all that she ever focused on. She never once deviated from that and was like nitpicking on people.
Right. So
or
this was
like making digs on them.
No,
Yeah,
never did Leah do that.
Yeah.
She single-handedly walked the entire town of Sea Caucus to try and get people to know her. That was it.
And so that's the second reason why I wanted to make this patch. So this is what it is. I really like how it came out. And this will be raffling off today. It's
so
Rosie
good,
the
Chris.
Riveter. And so
it's so good.
It's like I want to do.
Can you move this up just a little bit and get the Crafticam like not over the patch? Yeah, because I just want to talk about a couple of things here.
Am I zoomed in?
It's okay. I mean, if it's too much, I don't mean to like throw
It's
you.
okay. It's okay.
You know? Katie said, is it official that Leah won? It's not like official, but the way that all the mail-in votes are trending, which are equal to the in-person votes, suggests that they won by a landslide. Like that there's really, and I'm knocking on wood here, but like that it's unlikely they won't win. All three of them.
Yeah,
but Leah
which is
wasn't
awesome.
first by a lot.
So yeah, I'm a huge fan of this whole Rosie the Riveter concept. That was like the ad for the war. You know, that women were participating equally in what they were contributing to the war effort, even though they weren't on the front lines.
Right.
And working the manufacturing jobs when the men were off, you know, to battle and all of that. And so, yeah, so this take on Rosie's, it's supposed to look a little bit multiracial. So it's not, you know, if you look at the original, it's, you know, probably I would say
very
like a white person.
Woman, yeah.
And so the colors, the
Not very white, but like very
the
predominantly
skin color,
white.
the eye shape, and the hairstyle is really just supposed to be a little bit less specific and a little bit more mixed, which is representative of what our country is.
I'm
I
just
think.
laughing at all these comments about saying how beautiful it will look on Linda's jacket. Chris, I'm gonna go pee while you talk about this. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
And
so
I'll be right back.
look, I mean, normally my patches I do like cartoony looking things, and sometimes the those are easier because you just get to work with like bigger eyes or have dark lines around the characters. And this one I just wanted to leave it like a little bit simpler, but try to highlight things so that it looked a little bit more real, even though it's still just thread. So a couple of things. The thing that I really like about this one, and I don't know, maybe I can zoom in and show, is this was the first time that I wasn't going to do an outline around it. And so I wanted, because I think once you start to add outlines around the face and everything, it starts to look less realistic. And so for this part by the neck, I wanted it to be different from the face. And so changing like the inclination on the stitching just gives that effect. It catches the light differently. So even though it's the same color thread, it sort of catches the light differently and gives that effect that there's like a slight shadow on the neck compared to the face. And then I did that same effect here on the sleeve of the arm compared to the bottom part of the shirt and the collar. And that again gives that effect of having some, even though it's the same color, a little bit of a different texture to it compared to, so it just separates it from the rest of the shirt. And so that was kind of my take on how to deal with that, to make sure that even though I'm using the same color and I'm not putting in a specific outline around it, that it gives the effect that it's a different part of the, or has a different depth to it than the other parts. So also, like when you start to do some of these like these, the white polka dots here, those are difficult to stitch. So I stitched those underneath and then I cut out the red thread from the top layer. And then so that these white holes get stitched, the white polka dots get stitched first, and they're all connected underneath there. But then the red ribbon gets stitched over top it. And so I think it all kind of like came out really nicely. That's why I was so excited to share it. This was the first version of it. The only thing that I really fixed are like some of the separating lines that I stitched in here for the fingers. Some didn't come through great, so I fixed that. I felt like her wrist was abnormally thin on this and it looked like it was gonna break, so I made it thicker on the one on the right. And then the last thing that I changed on this is Oh, the neck. So the neck here I stitched after I stitched the face, and so it kind of popped up over it, and it really didn't give the same effect, and so I fixed it on this one. I stitched the neck first, and then I stitched the face over it, and so it gave a little bit of a better 3D look with this inclination on the thread here.
Inclination, excuse me.
Yeah, I was talking about it when you were gone. That's like you can direct which way the thread goes, and that was kind of the effect that I was doing on the shirt.
For sure.
Sleeve. In comparison to that,
it's super cool.
But yeah, I mean, it's a good technique if you're doing the same. These are the same thread colors. If you're doing the same thread, then you can change the look of it, even though it's side by side the same color.
Yeah.
So that's the patch for today. I made this on Friday, and it was a dumpster fire the rest of the weekend. So I actually didn't stitch this one yet, but whoever wins it tonight, I will make one tomorrow for them.
Well, you're saying you didn't stitch it. What you mean is you didn't stitch one for the wall.
No, this one is the wall.
Oh, got it.
Patch, but I will stitch. I have the pattern done. I'll stitch a new one tomorrow.
How many stitches and how long did it take?
This one I think is like 35 minutes or so.
OG Steve said I would enter the battle dome for these patches. Remember, folks, listen. As much as you think otherwise, these are fully randomized picks.
No, wait.
To the point. What?
We have the screen now.
Yeah.
Proves
but I'm saying to the point where, who was it last time? Who won? Linda's mom?
Yeah, on one.
One out of 165 votes. One. Okay, let's move away from that so we can cut the song. Okay, so now let's continue talking about last night and a couple of moments. So first of all, the one complaint I had was that they brought out the food way too late comparatively to everything else. And another unfortunate thing is, since me and Chris are vegetarian, they didn't, I don't know if they just assumed everyone would eat meat, but like at a women's event, like celebrating the diversity of people, like it just was weird for them to assume that. And so when
Hey, Bobby Cat, thanks for jumping on.
Hello. Thank you for being here. And so I asked for vegetarian, so did Chris. And then they gave us like what I would refer to as like a large hash brown in like tomato sauce covered in leaves. And it was nice. I mean, it was fine. It was good, but it wasn't much at all. But aside from that, that was the only negative. The event was fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, so there was a cocktail hour where we had some like little snacky things and wine.
All those little snacky things are so good.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The pizza was little pizza bites were really good.
The whole thing was great. We had some
drinks.
Hummus,
in the cucumber,
the Parmesan thing, the leeks with everything. Oh, so good.
So then then they shuffled you from cocktail hour upstairs to the actual event where they had like the salad and bread and everything as the first course.
On the way up, this is what I want to talk about.
Oh, yeah. No, this is good.
On the way up, I experienced something really strange.
So the way that the venue was set up is there was like the downstairs, which is like the open dance floor, and then the entrance to that split to two staircases that went up to the first floor.
Yeah.
And that's where the actual like dinner venue was.
Right. And so going up the stairs on either side, you passed multiple bathrooms. And one of the things that the LGBT Center NYC is very good at doing at every one of their events, including their physical building, as well as anytime we stay in a hotel for the cycle, is that all bathrooms get relabeled as gender neutral bathrooms, meaning anyone can go in any bathroom at any time for whatever reason.
And it's not that they have a men's and a women's bathroom and then a gender neutral bathroom.
It's every bathroom.
It's every bathroom is gender neutral, which just takes the stigma out of it. For anybody who might be trans or non-binary or uncomfortable about what bathroom they want to go to, it just eliminates all of that. Completely. And I think it's really great that they do that because it just makes the community feel more comfortable.
And experiencing it that way in person at the very beginnings of us doing this at the center sounded, or at first I was like, oh, is this going to be weird? And then I went in and I realized it absolutely, no one cares. There's nothing at all to be worried about. We all poop, we all pee. That's it. We all have to do it at some point. It's going to happen.
Even Eloise, even though it happens in the corner of the laundry room, she still does it.
So on the way up, and we pass these bathrooms, one of the attendants in the bathroom, he pulls me over in the midst of us like being cattled, like cattle were, you know, moving up, like what's that word? We're being like herded. No. Mm-hmm. And he's like, my friend, look. And he points at the bathroom door, and on the bathroom door, it says the women's event in big font, like the icon for it. It says women's event. Bottom below that, it says LGBT Center NYC. And then to the next of that, like another banner covering the, I'm assuming the traditionally female icon. It says, gender neutral, or no, all gender bathroom. I think that's what it said.
Yeah.
It said all gender bathroom. And he's pointing out in his mind what is this discrepancy that is the women's event and then all
that's how
bathroom.
You took it?
That's how I took it. That he's saying if it's the women's event, why is there...
No, I took it as he's pointing it out and showing it like, oh, look at how great we are that we have the...
Oh, no,
that's how I took
that. No, I took it as he is so weirded out that there's a women's event that he's working that is all gendered bathrooms. And that's what he was pointing out. And the women behind us...
Yeah,
we were walking up and they were like, what in the hell was that all about?
Well, we both turned to each other and we were like, what was that? And then like they also turned to each other. They seemed like maybe they were like wife and wife and like...
Oh, excuse me. You just Freudian slipped.
Well, I was going to say husband and husband because that's what we are. And they turned to each other and they were like, what was that all about?
Yeah. Like, and then the one woman said to me, she was like, how, there's no time walking up the stairs to explain that gender is a construct, a social construct to this man. And it made me die. It was so funny.
My thing was like, by pointing it out like that, if he was trying to do good and saying like, we're doing like, here, like, look, it's open. Because that's how I took it as like, oh, look, it's something different. Like, look, I was under the impression of like, you're drawing attention to it and it's defeating the purpose, because the whole point is that let's just normalize this and not draw attention to it. And then everybody can be comfortable because of it. Who's using the bathroom. But and by you drawing attention to it and saying, look at this,
Yeah.
It just makes it abnormal.
Oh, it's interesting. I feel like we talked about this, but we didn't realize that we both had these different viewpoints, but yet we still came to the same idea that it was wrong. Like whatever.
Yeah, it was like, just get over it. Like, who cares?
There's a couple of interesting comments here. Charlie Boy said, as long as they're not urinals, I'm okay with it because I want nothing to do with a quote men's bathroom as a woman. Now, me and Chris talked about this as well too, that in a perfect world scenario, every bathroom will just exist with a series of stalls, preferably doors, not those stalls that have those like 5-inch gaps in between the doors. And there we go. It's done. But the like infrastructure structuring essentially, that's complicated. I get that. That's going to be weird. All the urinals would have to come out and then stalls would have to be put in.
Well, I went to the urinal and I like there were women coming in and I don't care.
Yes, but maybe they cared. That's the point.
Oh.
A woman there.
But then,
no, a woman there is walking into a very obviously men's bathroom.
Yeah.
And she's
I
being
guess that's
exposed.
because we just grew up with that's what the norm is. Like,
Because
that's what the
you're
like,
literally
the men's bathrooms are.
You are experiencing right now the plight of the cis white privilege. Mm-hmm. Meaning, because this is normal for you, anyone who thinks everything else.
Everyone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Well, look,
see how
I'm
it happened?
Mm-hmm.
right?
So wait, should I not have used the urinal then and used the stall? Because I was like, that's
I would
too much
not have
work.
used the urinal.
There were other people using the urinal. Though.
I know, but I'm just saying personally, I would not
I just didn't want to wait.
I also just don't like using urinals to begin with. I just don't like the exposure. It freaks me out. But I feel like I wouldn't do it just because I didn't want to participate in that of like making a person who would never use a urinal uncomfortable about that.
Yeah, I'm the worst.
Totally the worst. Stalls with doors, floor to ceiling. I don't want to see anyone's feet. Charlie boy. Seat up, no. Pee everywhere, yes. Belle said, we don't care, we have to pee. Sam said, I have two. Oh, wait. Sam said something really funny. Here's my problem with gender neutral or family bathrooms in general. Cis men are disgusting and pee everywhere, and it makes the bathroom gross. Totally gross. I even agree with that as a cis man myself. I've been in plenty of women's restrooms. They are disgusting. Flushing is important. So I think we all agree here that we are all, as a human species, gross AF. And we all want floor to ceiling doors, no feet, no gaps. Let us do our thing in private.
That's what Eloise wants too.
You know,
maybe that's why she doesn't want to she goes in her corner and poops because she doesn't want anybody to look at her.
Dodgers had to use Dodgers had to use the men's, women's had long line. Oh, yes. Yeah, that's usually always the case too. Excuse me. We had to use the men's room at work when the women was getting painted, and it was actually hella cleaner, said Mozzie. So anyway, that was an interesting takeaway from that moment of our
I
experience.
agree. White noise machine would be great in a bathroom because
Totally.
nobody wants to hear the noises.
Yeah, sometimes they're out of control. But again, every single human has to pee and poop at some point. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, unless we get evolution somehow.
But then what? It's going to be something like, is it just going to be farts?
Maybe. And then it just goes out into the world.
Yeah, it's just going to be.
And then we normalize farting.
Farts out
This is what you get when you join Airstreamers.
But then we won't have dirty
of poop stories.
Yeah, we won't have any dirty buttholes then.
Yeah. Is Jody on?
I don't think Jody's on.
Bone Spurs, the dirty butthole. Moving on from there, we were... So the people who won awards yesterday were Kim Petras. If you don't know Kim Petras, she is such a fantastic pop artist. Love her. Look her music up. She's amazing. Super young, trans German woman. And she was able to fly into the city, record her speech at the center. And then from there... she's now touring in Europe, and she knew this was going to happen, which is why she did that. But seeing her in the center, seeing her talk about Glenda Testone, who is the head of the center that me and Chris are obsessed with. She's super cool. The whole thing was very, very inspired. I loved it. What she had to say was amazing. The importance of the work that the LGBTQ Center does for folks. Because think about, I don't know if you all know the work they do, but all the money that gets raised directly affects basically children all the way through adults in navigating any aspect of the queer experience. You know, cow farts apparently.
Increased global warming.
Yeah. And so if you donate $100, that $100 is directly going to help a series of kids with a bunch of different things. And they were saying yesterday that what was it, the $5,000 or $1,000 was the two.
Yeah, I think so.
Think it was
they had that woman who came up and gave the speech. She was she was a lesbian, and then she was living on the streets,
homeless, unhoused.
Sorry. And
unhoused.
She then went to the center at some point, and they gave her help. They gave her sponsorship.
Yep.
And they basically,
housing, I think, at some point.
They helped her get housing.
Yeah.
And so all of them, that basically then brought her to a part in her life where she was successful. And, she was talking about all the stuff that the center did for her.
And that was from
and it was
19
just really
to 26.
Yeah,
now.
she was like 10. Yeah, it was like 9 or 10 years that they said that she was part of the center.
No, 19 to 26. That's 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which all I'm saying is that it's a very short period of time in which that all made a legitimate impact on this person's life. And I think it was that if you donate $10,000 or $1,000, I don't remember, but it helps 2 of those exact stories, you know, like that. Sam said, I've heard this on House versus Homeless, and I don't really get how homeless is offensive because people who are unhoused consider where they are home. It's more because I think there's an expectation that it's like, as a human race, we should be providing people who don't have homes a shelter. That's what it is. And I think that if you're homeless, it implies that you are doing something wrong, and therefore you are a person who's now who now has to suffer because of your mistakes by literally living out on the streets. Whereas if it was like a society that we legitimately helped everyone who needed help, then it would be society's doing to try to help you find housing, and it would never be your fault. You know what I mean? So yeah, Belle, that's what it is, that there's a stigma against the term homeless because it seems to imply that it is the homeless person's fault. And you can argue any which way that, yes, it might be something that they've done, but there's so many circumstances in which that's not the case. And so therefore, I think the new term that has come around,
a lot of times people have
unhoused.
extreme medical bills that they were that they went bankrupt because. And, you know, that's just, maybe they didn't have insurance and then they lost their house. And
that whole idea that I think it's like LGBTQ folks are way more likely disproportionately more likely to be unhoused because of, again, being kicked out of a home, and, you know, not being able to support themselves because they're so young and all of that, which is why I think as a human race, we probably should be giving these people support, which is where the center comes in, because they do that. They give the support to those folks. And so that's all the money that we raise, like all the time with the cycle ride that we do, which is another one of their big fundraisers. Then the center dinner, which is their main one. Hi, Jody.
Jody, we were just talking about you in a good way. We were laughing because somehow we led the stream down poop stories again.
Yeah, and we literally just had
wrapped it up
spurs.
with bone spurs and the dirty butthole.
Yeah, totally. Sam said, no, I don't think anyone should be homeless, and the fact that we as a society are okay with it just is awful. I agree. When you walk down the street in New York City or anywhere, and you see people literally living on the concrete, it breaks my heart. It absolutely breaks my heart, because how did we get here? How do we allow that to happen?
10 months for Jody. Jody, the other thing we were talking about recently is, like, I think back to probably 10 months ago when we were talking about with you on the stream.
Theme Hospital. Yep.
And Factorio. And I think, like, that seems so long ago. And what's crazy is with the community that we have now, I feel like I know all of you.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a different feeling that I have connecting with you folks 3 times a week. And it's like, it's really cool.
I know.
I'm here for it.
When I went to, when I was editing the 100th episode videos, and I would see the text coming through from the chat that we have in the window from early episodes, I'm like, oh my God, Jody. I'm like, wait, Bellameg. I'm like, Heidi. Like, these names, Mozzie.
Yeah, yeah.
Would come out, and I would see them, and I'm like, holy moly, literally there from episode, like, negative 10 all the way through to where we are. So
it's really cool.
Theme Factory.
Factory.
So Kim Petras won the award.
Roxanne
Gay won the award for like the entertainer because of the book. And what Roxanne Gay was saying was that MJ Rodriguez, if you know who that is from Pose, she's the main actress who ended up winning an Emmy this year for her role as the main character. I forgot her name in the Blanca. She is a trans woman, and she is fantastic. And 2 years ago, before COVID, when this event happened, she won the Emerging Award. And so then she's now
Which,
passing.
by the way, we have to finish Pose.
Yeah, we do. Hi, Adventurers Fanatic.
Hey, Adventurers.
And then and then Blanca came on last night to talk, to say, you know, now I'm passing the award on to, who was the award passed on to? Was
Kim
it Roxanne?
Petras.
Oh, it was Kim Petras, not Roxanne Gay. It was Kim Petras as the new emerging person. So, like, this is how big this whole thing is, where
Oh, these are important folks, and
crazy important folks. And then the whole thing with Leah Delaria, she would have been there, but then I
she
think
was at the last one.
Yeah, she's been at all of them, and I was like excited to possibly see her, but that didn't work. Stalefson 790 said, "Hi, Louise. Hello and welcome as a first-time chat from a viewer. So welcome to this community.
Yeah,
And
great
thanks for being
community,
here.
and Eloise is on her camera every time we stream because she loves that spot.
And she'll
You can see her from
continuously
all
slip
angles.
more and more and more off to the side. It's very funny. And behind us is a patch wall that Chris made all these patches, and he will give one away as we wrap up the evening.
Oh, I shouldn't have this one on the.
No, because that's going to
need
be
to show it.
yeah.
Of what the giveaway tonight is.
Yeah. Bella, that's very true. Eloise has absolutely no idea where she is. Give Raisin Muskrat love. So Roxanne Gay won the award as well. And then and then the big other thing was that Morgan Stanley they were given this huge acclaim because one of the leads, I don't know what her role is, that woman who spoke.
She was the head of diversity and inclusion at Morgan Stanley.
She has made ridiculous strides to make that company be the most by the Human Rights Campaign report card.
Well, they got like 100 scores. So there are other companies that have 100 scores, but they
got the highest that they could be.
Yeah. So they had a perfect score.
Yeah, and so they were up there talking about what they've done to create this environment and what all the folks in that group that work together did. And the whole thing was just so inspiring because you realize this shouldn't be what we're striving for. This should just be. Like, already this should just be. And I understand we have to work towards this, but the fact that we're there last night and afterwards there was the party downstairs that we were able to go to and hang out and dance and drink and eat. There was no food there.
Wait, no, let's get back to, so then after that, then they brought out dinner. We had the hash brown, the cold hash brown.
The cold tomato hash brown.
Oh, if they stacked like McDonald's hash browns, like 6 of them on top of each other,
I would have preferred
been
that.
happy.
Yeah, I would have preferred that.
Yeah. Oh,
And they didn't even need to cover with all that bullshit.
no, just give us the hash brown.
Yeah.
And ketchup on the side.
Yeah. Oh, I'm here for that.
So that happened. Then they brought out dessert, which I'm always excited for. Morgan Stanley is a bank, not an actor.
Morgan
Freeman
and Stanley Tucci. If they had a baby.
Then they brought out like lava cake, and they had this little ball of ice cream that was in like this sugar crispy thing, right?
Like a little cone, like a little waffle thing.
Cup sugar
Oh
or something.
my God, it was so good.
But it's like it was really good vanilla ice cream, and you could tell it was legit because it had like the vanilla beans in it. Delicious. Elias and I were both saying that the only complaint we had there was that the portion was too small because we're monsters. Especially
monsters.
me when it comes to dessert.
You
know what I should have done? I should have gone around to the tables where people had left.
The person next to me, they didn't eat theirs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Will. I almost like stole Will's, and I thought it was like
That's what
weird
I should
if I
have
did.
done.
You know,
I should have just gone dessert shopping.
Do you know the other thing that happened as well is that both me and Chris somehow ended up next to the type of folks that and I'm sure you all know this type of person that I'm talking about, but like when they tell a story, you know how like we're here telling this hour and a half story, right? Like this is what we do. And we're good at gabbing away when we need to gab away.
But also engaging. Conversation should be a back and forth, not one way where you're being lectured to. And it's like, let me just get a word in. And like neither of these people, this was a one-way direction.
For a long time.
It was like they were waiting to unload these stories on somebody, and now they had a captive audience next to them, and they were going to just tell us their life story.
And I went to the bathroom at one point, as per usual, and I texted Chris, and I'm like, listen, in 5 minutes, save me.
I didn't check my phone.
I was hoping your watch would alert you, like that you would just glance down. And I'm like, come save me, say that I need to eat dessert, whatever. And he didn't. And then at some point I just had to like, I'm going to go have I literally just had to full stop the person next to me. But the fun thing was everyone at the table either had heard of Muskrat Nation because of our cycle ride or has been past photos of like Eloise to each other, like through friends.
Eloise.
And so once everyone found out that we were like Eloise's dads, everyone was like losing their minds, which cracked me up because like, look at her, look at Eloise.
But look,
you all have such an intimate awareness of Eloise comparatively to everyone.
What I do have to say is that everybody there was like really nice. Like,
wonderful.
Like, even if they like to talk and tell their story,
everyone was wonderful.
They were still super nice, and they're good people.
Totally.
So I don't want to shit on them.
Poo on them.
Yeah.
No. They were wonderful people. And we're all there for the same reason.
Yeah, we all have the same values. We're all there for to support the center.
And then so when we went downstairs and got a drink, we were dancing, talking to people, schmoozing.
Now at this point we've had a hash brown, we've had a small dessert. We had like little bite-sized things, and we only prior to this coming into the city, because we came in so late, had a bagel in the morning.
Yeah, so a bagel and one hash brown.
And now, like, the drinks are flowing, and, you know, the tears are going to start flowing at some point.
So Sam said, was this a ticketed event and anyone can go to, or invite only? Anyone could go. It was ticketed. It was $350 per ticket because it was a donation. Like that whole amount, aside from like the food and stuff and the venue, was really a donation for the place. And I would say, how many people? It's tough to say. Like,
well, there were like 30
500?
tables. There are like 30 tables and probably 10 people. So like 300 maybe.
Yeah, let's say 300. So that's how it was. So then while we were down there, I said to Chris, I'm looking around the room, and you saw such a beautiful blend of society. Whatever way you want to slice people into, like whatever category you want to slice people into, queer community, cisgendered, ethnicities, whatever, all of it was present. Gender nonconforming, every single grouping was present in the most natural way. And it makes you realize,
and they were
like,
all mixed together.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the trans people were in this corner.
No.
And, you know, the gay people were here and the lesbians were there. It was just like a really great mix of everybody was just together and having a good time.
Two categories, assholes and non-assholes. Luckily, this was a non-asshole event. You have to show your card at the front.
What, your asshole card, your non-asshole card, or your vaccination
also known
card?
as your vaccination card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But legitimately, it was a fully vaccinated event.
Everybody
which made me feel so great. But looking around and seeing the diversity as normal, as standard practice, was beautiful. There was a person who walked right by me from like the torso up, presented as a man, like, and what I mean by that is like traditional men's clothing, I would say. And then from like the torso down was these beautiful bell bottoms connected to
like bell bottom tux pants.
Yeah, fascinating. Connected to a beautiful heel, like a
suede,
sensible
like a
heel.
suede heel.
Yeah, purple suede heel, and you know, walk in, owning it, loving it, and nobody is
They looked great.
saying anything.
Yeah, they looked great.
And the point is, anywhere else, that person would probably be the talk of like, either the good air quotes people who go up to that person and be like, oh, you look so great. That's so wonderful. Which, like, I'm never going to go up to you as you wear your traditional clothing and be like, what? You're wearing sneakers? Holy moly. Or like, you got pants on? Get out of here. I would say it if you wore like a long sleeve shirt or something.
Yeah. You'd be like, what are you doing?
But what I'm saying is that whole idea of like fashion dictating a gender.
It was never a conversation with anybody. It was just like
ever.
You do whatever you want to do, and I'm here for the good conversation, and it's not going to be about what you're dressed as.
Because wear whatever material you want. Wear whatever makes you happy. If it's within law-abiding reasons, like maybe don't cut a hole around your crotch or something and like expose yourself. That's probably not okay.
Frowned upon.
Yeah.
I think
but otherwise, wear whatever.
No, we'll save
hell
that
you
for
want.
the Pride Parade. That's not this event. This is a black tie event.
Right. No. In a very typically queer way, the instruction said that it's a
festive.
Yeah. What was it? Festive chic or something, which makes me laugh. So, oh, wow. So, yeah, that's a first-time viewer that we do not want to include there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, mods.
Look at that. Kara added block term, that word. And then
my God.
Followed by 3 messages from Steve saying that the person is banned. Wow, you're all on it.
The mods are on it.
So, yeah.
Steve
Steve's
was
just
like
been waiting for that.
I'm pinning that. Amazing.
That is so funny. So in case you all missed that, folks, there was 3 really inappropriate comments that just came in from a first-time viewer, and it was like completely inappropriate. And within count to 2, Steve and Kara on it. Kara added the term that he used to the blocked term list, so no one will ever be able to say it again.
Yeah, let's not say that word.
Oh,
That's
never.
Terrible.
Never, ever. And then Steve completely blocked. So, yes, Kara, I was fun too. That's what actually threw me, why I stopped talking. I knew you'd all get it, but I really felt stunned because I saw what was written. That completely threw me.
Look, Eloise even has like a face of disgust. I can see it from her profile.
Yes. So yeah, then we leave there that night and we saw our close friend David, who is the one who really puts this whole thing together. He's such an awesome person.
He works at the center.
Yeah, he works at the center, and he's the director of like I want to say like events, like that. Like he is single-handedly the one to sort of put it all together.
Yeah.
And he did a phenomenal job. And like I was happy for all them who were working there to really get to put the reason why these people are hired into action, because this is the first time in 2 years that they've done something like this. So then we're leaving there and it's around 11 and we see right by our hotel a Taco Bell. And we kind of jokingly were like, oh, should we get that? Because we had a hash brown for dinner. So we go back into the hotel.
I'm like, put a pin in that.
We notice that there's a bar in the hotel, and we just sit and recap the night at the bar, and we had an amazing time there.
And that's when we had... So there were 2 things that were interesting at the bar. One, we had our mini photo shoot of like Mad Men style pictures because we were both in our tuxes still sitting at the bar. I just thought
Chris looked super handsome and I wanted to capture that moment. And I think I did a fantastic job capturing that moment.
Thank you. And you're equally as handsome.
And then I asked Chris to do that to me. And he's like instructing me because I said, I'm like, direct me. Tell me where to go.
I don't know what to do.
And he's like, put your hands this way. Put your hands that way. And then I look at the photo and it literally was like as if I was playing Twister. Like it was not a good photo, Chris.
I know. Well, I
got better by the end of it, but it was not near to the quality of the photo that I was.
Also, I was quite toasty at that point. So,
which is where this.
So
go ahead.
We're sitting at the bar. We get a couple of drinks. There's a woman who's sitting at the other end, and she keeps looking over at us. She's sitting there drinking by herself, and the guy who was behind the bar was serving her, and she got like at some point when she was closing out her tab, she got like a buy 5 get 1 free or something.
Yeah, I heard
and it
him
was
say
like
that.
I mean, what is it, like a punch card? And so okay, that's fine. But the thing that was weird, and you had your back to her.
Oh, I did not.
So what was weird was that
I mean, I didn't see is what I meant to say there.
every time, and I was like, you were sitting like this, and I was facing you, and she was off in to Elias's back, and she, every time like a story was being told, she would just dart her eyes over at us and then look back again, and dart her eyes over and look back, and it's like, what?
Was
like,
she
was like listening in?
Was she interested, or was it like?
It was like,
when are these
I don't know if it was
stop?
like the stories were annoying to her.
We're literally at a bar.
And we're at a bar.
And she's like 6 seats away from us. It's not even like she's right next to us, you know? So
we
wouldn't they tell you to leave, said Paul.
No, apparently not. Apparently you get 1 free if you buy 5.
OG Steve, I want to comment quickly on the lighting of that photo. That was because there was a hanging light in front of where Chris was looking. So when he turned to me, the light came in perpendicular like this to Chris's face, which is why it looked the way that it looked. If anyone who has an iPhone with more than one camera, you can take portrait mode photos. And the best part about that is the way that the software and the hardware work together is that it really will take a very good photo, even with minimal understanding of what's going on.
Well, it does like the blur of the background, so it highlights the subject.
But then
you're really good at taking those. Every time I take them, I'm like, they're fine, but you're very good at that.
Thank you. But the thing that I did extra with that photo was I moved to one of the different like pre-built. It's not a filter. It's the way that it's accepting the light in. Mm-hmm. And the one that I picked, the reason I picked it is because it helped accentuate the dark to lights. So like you could see the light nicely, but you can also see the detail of the dark nicely.
Yeah, I would never think to do that.
You know, Paul said Eli should work at an Apple store. Oh, right. Yeah. Would you guys like to see a couple of our pages I did today? Yeah, sure. Well, we welcome that, Adventurous Fanatic. And so...
Yeah, you need to... Adventurous, if you're not in the Discord, you should join the Discord and then share some of those in the arts and crafts section. We love to see all of that.
That's a great point. That's probably the best way to do it.
Thanks, Kara. Look, Kara's right on it.
Yeah, totally. So now at this point, we had enough. I have said that I'm done, and I'm going to pee, and I hear Chris order another one. And I'm in the bathroom, walk into the bathroom, and I'm like, order me one too. And this was where the problem started.
No, wait. I realized this when we were driving home, that we have like a 5-year period where we need to get this out of our system, and we go full train wreck in the city.
Whole hog, full
and
Monty.
The last time we did this was our 10th anniversary of dating, where we went into the city. We spent like the night out. We went to like dinner and everything, and we got a hotel room. And we, on that one, decided that we were going to go to a gay bar, gay club or something. And we ordered Cosmos, and the sugary drinks were like disgusting. We both felt awful the next day, like terrible the next day.
Terrible, yeah.
So much so that I think Sue came into the city to pick us up because we didn't feel like driving.
Oh, it was a bad time. That was Linda Blair Exorcist for me when I vomited that time. That was not really bad time.
So this is now our 15 years that we were in the city.
Just wait one sec. Leslie said new people want to join us in Among Us through Discord, and we don't know how to get them into Discord. Can you help with that? I think Kara answered it, but also just make sure that they're following on Twitch too, because I don't want Discord to be a place where like non-Twitch folk go to. I feel like one of the rules we should have is like you also should like to join this. You have to follow us on Twitch too. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so anyway, keep going.
Then we get this second drink. We finish it. We basically close out the bar because they closed at midnight.
Yeah. We knew that. We knew that was going into it, but we didn't know that we would get that extra drink, which is what caused the full disaster.
Then we go over to Taco Bell.
Excitedly.
excitedly, and we put our order in.
And the thing about Taco Bell as a vegetarian, there is a very specific button you have to press to make all of the meats go away, because we don't like meats. And when you build your order, it's a little bit time consuming. And then we did it on the machine, and as we're finishing, the woman was like, that one doesn't work. I'm like, oh my God. And now at this point, in our like haze of being fully inebriated, we have to do this all again, and it's like a difficult thing to be doing. And we're like, oh my God, this is just, I want this. Just give me that taco. I want gordita crunch, whatever. So we end up with like a million things.
It's so good.
We bring it back to the hotel room. We throw it all out on the glass table that's in the
living room. We have a living room
room
in our New York City hotel room. Like, what is that statement?
And we started, I mean, when I tell you, I think I ate my gordita crunch in like 2 bites, like full bites. The most delicious food I have ever had in my whole entire life.
Oh, it was top tier.
This food. Then at some point, I get the hiccups.
Oh, Sam, that sucks when they make it.
What is it?
She ordered it with the black bean, and they made it with meat.
There's nothing more devastating when that happens, because you can't do anything about it. You're not gonna eat it; like, it's gone. Yeah. You're not gonna remove the meat.
And then I feel bad, because then I feel like
the meat's already happened, and like the
animal died, and now I'm literally throwing it out. Like, it's the worst.
So I get the hiccups, and you don't know this about me, folks, but when I get the hiccups, it's the end of the road. That's it. I've reached the end. Call a priest. It's done.
Yeah.
I will.
You're going to hiccup until eternity.
Yep. Today, I have to tell you, my back hurts, and my like esophagus hurts from the hiccuping that I had. And the problem with my hiccups is that it activates my
acid reflux.
Yeah, my acid reflux. And so then when it's midnight, and I'm sitting there trying to go to bed, the inevitable happens, and I'm in the bathroom and waking Chris up with my expulsion of Taco Bell that I'm so sadly removing from my body. And
then you come back, and I'm like, are you okay?
Yeah, no, today Chris asks me, he's like, did I ask you if you were okay last night, or did I just roll over? I'm like, you're such a jerk. But yeah, so that's essentially our night.
But I wouldn't change it.
I would not change it. It was absolutely the most phenomenal day. I loved every moment. The mouth hole. The mouth hole.
Not the dirty butthole.
Mozzie said, all my friends know when I start hiccuping, the party's over. Yeah, legit. It's bad. And
I hate it.
I hate it because it doesn't need to be there. Like, it's not that I'm extra drunk or anything. It's just that the combination of when that happens and what I'm feeling in my body goes into this weird, like, turbo mode, and I absolutely hate it. Russian roulette with your intestines, said Imposter Steve.
For Taco Bell.
Yeah, but you know what? I feel...
But with the beans, though, that's pretty good. I've never had
that.
It's like the meat. The meats are the problem.
The meats are the problem. The autobiography of the title of my autobiography is what I meant to say.
So then this morning, luckily,
have you ever tried eating a spoon or packet of sugar to stop the hiccups?
Really?
Wow.
I've never heard of that. I've heard say scrambled eggs and say rutabaga. And then
scrambled eggs is my thing, and that's not real. It's just that it happened to me one time, and so I took it as like scripture. Yeah.
Rutabaga.
Yeah. No.
And then that's good to know.
OG Steve said, I feel like we've gotten to know Elias a little bit better tonight, LOL.
Short Pam, maybe we'll have to get Elias totally slushed tonight and then just try it. Just to test. Just for science.
Sam and Shorpam or whoever's giving these suggestions of like what to do.
Taco
I get it. And I would gladly try things. But in that time, in that moment, the last thing I'm thinking of is eating a banana
life coach
or
during
sugar.
That. Yeah, I'm like, breathe, do this, do that. I feel like I'm like a Lamaze instructor whenever
Chris
you get
is the best. I just lie on the bed and he's like rubbing my back and is like, oh, just, it's okay. It's okay. And then I'll feel like it's cured and then I'll get it again. It's like, it's okay. It's okay. And I'm like, can you just do this all the time? Because this is great. We woke up way late.
But luckily, the hotel checkout was at noon, which was great.
I was very happy about that. And we got that extra hour of sleep. And I feel like we had a memorable night that we will forever remember. And it was also, side note, in celebration of our 15-year anniversary, which is tomorrow. So tomorrow, we will have been dating for 15 whole years. 2006, November 8th, we started dating. I'll never forget that moment where we were on your awful IKEA couch with that stupid little table built in that you would like crack your head in every 5 seconds.
In our awful apartment.
So that's
my awful apartment at the time, then became our awful apartment.
A year later. Yeah, but during that time, I messaged you on AIM and I was like, I'm coming over. And that was the night that I think I brought the beer because apparently you didn't want to make me feel bad that you don't like beer, and I didn't want to make you feel bad that you didn't like beer, or I didn't.
You assumed I liked beer, yeah.
Because I said I'm bringing beer. Is that okay? And you said yes. So therefore, that's the solution.
Yeah, and I, and
drink water from the back of the glass. It doesn't work for me. I tried it.
Bought from Krausers, and now every time we drive by that Krausers, it's the one. Oh, the one where you tried to get me drunk on our first date.
Yeah, every time we see it. Heidi said I get hiccups like once every 4 years. It's like getting Tourette's. I hiccup and I just say F over and over. Yeah, no, Heidi, the most relatable thing ever. Happy anniversary to Chris taking care of Elias.
Literally, I was like, okay, well, when we were talking about it, I was like, well, maybe when we're together for our 20 years, you'll be able to hold your liquor.
Yeah, I'll have learned to control myself.
Because it went from like really explosive to like last night was like bad, but then it was over and done with.
Yeah, it was fine.
For like 10 years ago, because of those sugary drinks, that was not a good
I don't know what I was thinking. Gardenome said beer o'clock. Gardenome, the place that I'm talking, the Krausers that I'm talking about, you know where that is in
Meadowlands Park.
Meadowlands Parkway. That's the one that I drove to get beer, a 6-pack, because like, oh, you know, I'm a man. I'm gonna be a bro.
What was it that you got? Was it like Budweiser or something?
It was probably like Amstel Light or something.
I think it was Budweiser.
I think it was no. I would have not gotten Budweiser.
Like bottled Budweiser.
No. I think it was Heineken. I think I brought over Heineken.
Oh, okay.
You know, so that's our night. We are now going to move into before we'll start the thing for the patch. I want to do a CCGI that might go longer than tonight. Like I might do it again.
Bye, Charlie boy.
Tomorrow. Bye, Charlie boy. Thanks for tuning in. Not tomorrow. I'm sorry. The next time. Like we might do it in pieces because it's kind of there's like a lot of aspects to it. Similar to that one other one that I did. This was a Bishi who sent this to me a long time ago, and I'm a
wait. Can I? While you're talking about that, I'm going to start the raffle. So this is the raffle. This is for the women's event, inspired by the event that we went to last night, and also Leah's hard work that she did to get on the board of education.
Can I just text you this, Chris, so that I can look at your phone while you are looking at this? Okay. So
wait, I'm looking at this.
Yeah, just 1 sec though. Like, don't actively just look at it. Can you text yourself? Like, text that last screenshot that I just took. So on tonight's Can Chris Get It? This was an Abishi Discord message that I got sent a while ago. There are a lot of different movies referenced in this picture coming up. So Chris has to, for tonight, just guess as many as you think you know, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, okay, Garden Gnome. It is Rosie the Riveter.
Here we go. This has 27 movie references in this photo. So let's see if Chris can get what those are. Yeah, go away from there, go to that one, and I will tell you.
Okay.
So tell us what you think you know.
I know it's the Life is a Box of Chocolates.
That's the movie?
Yeah, it's Forrest Gump.
Good.
Jumanji is, I think, self-explanatory.
Yeah.
So in the back on the right, that looks like Terminator, like the cop, I think, but I think somebody's biting his neck. Is that possible?
It's not what you think it is.
So it's not Terminator.
No,
The cop.
No, well, Terminator is in this, but there's a much more obvious thing.
The eyeballs?
Yeah, the eyeball, the eye hole.
Is that Edward Eisenhower on the left?
No. Edward Eisenhower has little Eisenhowers all over.
Edward Scissor Hands.
Yeah, there you go. Edward Scissorhands.
The Barbasol, is that from the Jurassic Park?
Yes. Good. Go back to that other movie that you were talking about with the top right, biting his neck. It's not biting his neck. It's like...
It looks like the Toto bike from Wizard of Oz.
Okay, it's not. Move past it.
Oh, that's the robot one on the right. The one that was like the NES bot.
The robot,
like
yes,
Rob or something.
But what's the name? We talked about it recently.
R period O period.
No,
D period.
yeah, the last stream we talked about it.
Johnny Five.
Yes, which is from the movie.
Oh, I don't know what movie he's Johnny Five. I thought that was the movie.
If you have an electrical disruption,
shock.
It's not long, but
a charge.
Not long, but
short charge. Short circuit.
There you go. You didn't know that movie is called Short Circuit?
I thought it was Johnny Five.
Okay, you have 1.5 more minutes to pick more.
That looks like the Tide Pod box in the lower left. I don't know what that is though. What is that?
Can I see zoomed in?
This thing?
I don't think I know that one.
Tide Pods?
I don't think they existed back then.
Oh, Slimer is the green guy.
From?
The Ghostbusters.
Oh my God, Chris. Look by his Tom Hanks's right elbow. His own right elbow. Like if he touched his right elbow. Right? His elbow.
That?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Is that Mufasa?
Yes.
Oh, that's it look like a duck.
Yeah. You don't know what that is? We're talking about Under the Bench by Tom Hanks's right elbow.
A duck cow.
Okay, that is from Gremlins, Gizmo.
Oh,
Incorrect. Okay.
Yeah, but you can't really even see him.
If you zoom out, you can see it a little easier. I think zoomed in is a problem. That is enough for tonight. We will probably revisit this the next time because there's a lot of good more. I think you only got 6 or 7, and there's 20 more references. The center of the screen is a freebie. Just read the box. He got that one.
The famous duck cow.
Okay, pick a winner, Chris.
Are we good?
We're good.
Oh, wait, we need to go to the raffle screen so we can show folks we're not cheating.
Let's see. Click raffle. All right, look.
How many entries do we have tonight?
Well, you need to scroll. We have 151 entries for Rosie the Riveter, and go up and we'll see who the winner is. So, folks, look at what's happening. This is live action right now. We are showing you. Ready?
Are we going?
Pick a winner. Do it.
Pick it.
Do it. Deb, you won.
Congratulations.
Sam. Yeah, Sam, this is new. This was for you. This was so we could show you what's going on in the background.
I still want Sam to say that it's rigged, though.
Okay, so episode 1.
There she goes. Thank you. Congratulations, Deb.
109.
I still have to make it, but I'll make it tomorrow and I'll
Deb
send it out.
1 Rosie. Okay, so folks, unusual Sunday, but I'm so happy you all tuned in for spending the night with us. We had a ton of fun, as per usual. And what we'll do in this week, I'll come up with a schedule. I'll post it, all the normal stuff. I'll continue to promote YouTube and Facebook and figure out the little intricacies with that and see how that goes. But I think that for the most part, it worked for tonight. And again, once more, thanks for tuning in. And I hope you enjoyed that our story of our weekend.
Sam, I can't.
Who knows what they're doing below the cameras?
I love you guys so much.
Oh, man. So thank you, folks, for tuning in to another episode of Airstreamers, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. See ya.